Hello and welcome to Limitless Extra, the show that gives you fun and inspiration on a Saturday morning. And we have an amazing guest on the show who will be talking to us about fashion. Now, she is an entrepreneur, businesswoman, and she really knows her stuff. So without further ado, drum roll, let us introduce Uche Obasohan on the show. Welcome, Uche.
Hi, Maria. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. You look absolutely lovely with that lovely spring dress on. Very nice.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank
and today's
you.
the first day of spring, so I thought I'll just...
That's right. You're dressed perfectly, and that's the thing we need to talk about. I need your advice today because you obviously have made our Strong Women Month. This whole month we're celebrating strong women. You are part of that because I really see how you're championing other women. So we're going to watch Women of Influence, a video that was put together just to show some of the things you're doing, and then we'll come back and talk about that because I think it's going to really, really bless a lot of people out there. Okay, so everyone listen and watch Women of Influence.
My name is Uche Obasohan. I am the founder of UO Styling. I am also the creative director for the UK Women of Influence campaign. The whole point of the campaign was to raise awareness of these amazing women and all the things that they have done, the things that they're doing. They are women who are championing activism. They are women who, have taken time to carry out, initiatives, campaigns, to promote change, to support and empower other people.
That's amazing. Really amazing, Uche.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about Women of Influence? What was the inspiration behind that? And what kind of things do you do for these ladies?
So it was founded, we had the first batch 2020. And what inspired it was it comes from my styling.
Yeah.
But I just wanted something to, just because you see a lot of women who are not confident in themselves in terms of like what they want to do and for the future. And from my experience as well, because I came from that part with my 20s when I didn't have as much self-esteem in myself. I would always second doubt myself, imposter syndrome and all of that jazz. So I just felt like, coming from the career I have of being a nurse, working with people, seeing domestic violence, going into public health, and just having all of that skill and meeting women in their different environments and going through different things. And I met a lot of women that didn't feel confident in going to the next level, didn't feel confident using their voice. And I just felt like, you know what, why don't I just do something like to celebrate women who are doing these amazing things? So similar to like Limitless, that's Limitless women, women who are strong and, just making an impact. And I just thought, you know what, instead of having that competition, all of that, that it's an existence. It happens all around us as women as well. But if we come together, we can be so much stronger. So I just thought, let's do this thing, get a few women who are making an impact directly in health and well-being, celebrate them. And in no way, they are not like, they don't represent like every woman. They're just like a small group of women, but the whole intention is that hopefully it empowers other women who want to do the same thing, who want to go through the same career journeys that each and every one of them, because they have different career journeys. They're making impact and influence in different ways. So it influences other women, you know, through storytelling. She'll be like, you know what, I can do that. You know, she's done this. She's gone through that career path, and maybe I can do that. So inspire, network, educate. That's the goal. And I think the overall outcome, which is like big, but you know, small me. But the overall outcome is, you know, to add some kind of impact in terms of like women economic growth, you know, help with inequalities, and just try and just help women to be empowered and, you know, use their voice for change. If you want to do something, if you don't believe in something and you feel like you want to make a change, then you can make a change. You can actually do something, you can actually use your voice. So that's the two arms to it. So celebrating the women, should try and get other women to be inspired, and the other arm is to actually educate and network as well, because I want to try and get other women to network with women of influence every year. We didn't do one last year because of COVID, but hopefully we should select another set of group of women for this year. And yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely, it is amazing. It is amazing. And it can be always difficult to sort of get across your vision and what it is that you want to do. But I mean, I can see all in just the way the women look. They stand up with so much confidence.
It was amazing. It was such a great event. And just because we partnered with the Met Police, the BPA, City Police BPA, so City Police Black Police Association. So they were our main partners, and also with the Guildhall, and we had sponsors as well. Everything was all catered for. Nothing was, you know, everyone volunteered to just have this amazing campaign, and it was really great. And I learned, like, I felt inspired even being in the presence of them. They're just amazing women.
Yeah,
and there's so many amazing women around us.
Oh, it's so true. It's true. You know, we don't always see them. That's the sad thing of it all. And even sadder is the fact that they don't always see themselves.
Yeah.
They don't always see themselves. And, you know, it's this whole idea of self-awareness is so empowering, because for a woman, I don't know if people really realize this, but for a woman, her beauty, her inner beauty, we know is her strength, you know, and her joy and her beauty. But sometimes you need a little bit of pampering on the outside for the inner to shine through. You know, I know there are those who said, yeah, but that's a superficial side because it's external, you know. But actually, sometimes you can, you know, you just feel really good one day, and all of a sudden you can shine. You exude through that because of the confidence. It's the confidence, really, isn't it? It's the confidence, yeah. And whatever you need to, somebody was saying to me actually, when she goes on a Zoom call, she wears heels for business Zoom call.
Yeah, I would definitely, after doing that, I started doing that a few months ago, because it just helps with your whole personnel. It literally just gets you in the mood to do that Zoom call, and you feel more confident.
That's it. And I said to her, you know what? Anything that can take away self-doubt or, you know, crush your confidence, you know, anything that's going to do that, get rid of it. You know, so if you have to wear those heels to put you into, then do it, because it's really about you and what's in you shining through. And these are just tools to eliminate the barriers to that, isn't it?
So true, because a lot of the times, and I tell my clients that a lot, and I do say a lot on my page, my style page, that when it comes to styling, it's I can empower you through the different tools, but at the end of the day, it comes from inside. So you would have to think about, you know, your body shape, you know, knowing what your body shape is, knowing what your color palette is, because if you wear the wrong colors, you know, it can just make you look really dull, older than your age, just so that's another thing. And then just knowing what your personal style is. So I usually define personal style as, you know, just the way an individual expresses themselves through aesthetic choices. So that could be like your hair, how you do your hair, your makeup, and, you know, clothes. So that's because that's the representation you want to give out to the world. That's how you want people to see you. So that's personal style is. And then you also need to know what your personality type is. So some people are very feminine in their dressing. So they're always wearing the nice dresses. And some people might be like tomboys, you know, they're just like, I like to dress really casual. I like my hoodies. I like my trainers. So if you have about 3 or 4 of those, most times you would see that, and you start dressing in that way, that's the interpretation you're giving out to the world. One other thing I would say, which is also important, and I say this a lot, and this is where people miss it, is making sure that your lifestyle is, your wardrobe is linked with your lifestyle. Because a lot of times people, you would see probably like someone who does 9 to 5, maybe they go to the gym probably like, I don't know, 3 times a week. They have their 9 to 5, and they don't really go out too much, but they might go out maybe like once a month. What I usually say is we have a pie chart, and just kind of like allocate percentages to that. So if you're doing 9 to 5, I would probably say 60% of the things in your wardrobe should be workwear.
Yeah.
And then you go out, you work out in the gym. Okay, let's say 15% could be, you know, gym wear.
Yeah.
And then maybe another 15% could be like that, or maybe 5%, I don't know, could be casual.
Yeah.
Depending on which one you use the most. So if it's casual, if you wear less casual clothes, maybe 5%, and then 10% outing clothes. You know, it's really important to balance it that way, because then what you see in your wardrobe is it's a reflection of what your lifestyle is. So as opposed to having the opposite, and then when you look in your wardrobe, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything to wear. But the reason why you have nothing to wear is because your lifestyle doesn't match your wardrobe.
Yeah, that's really wise. Those are wise words, actually. Yeah, because actually now, okay, we've got spring now, so there's issues with, okay, we've got to get rid of the old, bring in the new for spring, and really declutter our wardrobes.
Yeah.
But then, you know, we've gone through this weird year where for those ladies who were going to work every single day and had maybe 60% of work clothes, all of a sudden had to suddenly start sitting in the and you know, some of them suddenly became gym heads. We don't know. Some of them, you know, hung around at home and became like real mummies and housewives. They all became domesticated. We don't know. So what do we do? Spring is coming. What should we do? Because at the moment, I've got everything out in my wardrobe. There's just no space anymore. I'm thinking, you know, but we're going to go into lockdown again.
Hopefully, oh gosh, like we just need to behave ourselves so Boris doesn't lock us down again. We need to literally behave ourselves. I think one thing I would definitely say, and I've done that with a few of my clients recently, and I've started to do that myself, is you have to declutter. And I actually did a post, I think it was 2 days ago, about decluttering and reorganizing your wardrobe.
Yeah.
I usually recommend doing that like twice a year, if not even more, because that way, twice a year, because we move from autumn winter to spring summer. So when you're going today is the first day of spring, you know, you should be looking into like decluttering your wardrobe. So you're looking at your wardrobe. I would usually say put it into 4 piles. So when you look at your wardrobe, bring everything out, put it into different piles, you know, shirts, skirts, whatever, in different piles. And then you're going to be putting them into 4 categories. So one pile could be what you're going to keep. Another pile could be anything that's going to be thrown away. So things that are really, really damaged, or you can throw it away, or you can maybe just repurpose it and use it like, you know, cleaning or something. And then you have another pile, which is amend. I don't know how many piles have I said. Well, basically there's 4 piles anyway. So there's amend, there's throw away, there's keep, and there's one more, but I can't remember. Sorry, my head's gone blank. But the gist of it is, when you do that twice a year, especially now we're coming into spring, you're getting rid of all the winter stuff. You're not throwing them away. You're just going to pack them somewhere. And then all the spring stuff come out. So that way you can see what you actually have in your wardrobe. And there's a trick that I learned. I actually read this in a magazine and I said, I'm going to try it, is when you're putting them back into your wardrobe with your hangers. So you put your hangers, or everything's facing one direction. So as you wear them, as you wear outfits, and you put them back, turn it the other way around. So that way you're able to know what you wear the most. And then the other thing, so maybe after like 6 months, you see all the things that are, the hangers that are facing you.
Yeah.
Then you know, okay, these are the things I wear the most. So those things, I might as well figure out what I'm going to do with them. So it's, you just have to. It's long-winded, but it really helps you, because then you're like, you know what, I don't have enough shirts. I need to get another white shirt, or I need to get another work trousers. Then you can actually see what you have in your wardrobe. So that's the biggest thing I would say. And you feel so relaxed. Just make fun out of it. You know, put music on, and it'll take probably about 3 hours. But you know, you could do that yourself. If not, I could do it for you if you want your styling to do a wardrobe detox. Yeah.
And you know what? A decluttered mind, a decluttered life is a decluttered mind, because it really helps to just, you don't want you don't need everything. There's so much stuff that I just never wear. I never wear it. So yeah.
You need to do a declutter and reorganization.
Most definitely. So tell me, how did you get into styling? I mean, I know that you became a nurse before, and of course you come from a Nigerian home. So, you know, tell me, how was it tough getting into styling? Was it something that you've always wanted to do and maybe couldn't do because of the background? Tell us a bit more about your beginning in styling.
Okay, so I think my story is pretty straightforward, to be fair. I've always loved style. I've always loved fashion. You know, when I was younger, I had like my sketchbook. I would just like sketch different designs and stuff like that. I would usually style my sisters, I'll style my friends. But then obviously the career still, obviously coming from a Nigerian background, you have to have your degree. At least you have to have that standard. I wasn't even going to think about, oh, daddy, I want to do styling. Like, I wasn't even going to mention that. So I just carried on. The thing is, I've always liked helping people anyway. So doing nursing was also something I wanted to do. So, but the styling thing was always there. So I did my degree, did my master's in public health. And it was, I just felt like, I felt like, you know, when you feel like God is telling you that you need to do something, but you're not sure what it is, and you don't have that peace, because it's just like you need to do something. And I was like, I just didn't have peace for nearly like, I think for like 2 years. I'm like, I just feel like, I told my sisters, I'm like, I feel like I need to do something. I just feel like this is not it. There's more that I need to do. I need to actually do something with, you know, my talent, or, you know, and people had been saying, you know, you need to try and do something with this. And I just like, you know, I was like, what do I enjoy doing? The only thing I know I really enjoy doing, and I could do it, wake up from sleep and just like, okay, I'll do this, boom, boom, boom. It's styling. It's just styling people. So I just started researching on it. And yeah, I just found out, oh wow, I could actually have a career in personal styling and fashion styling. And you know, I went and studied, got certification, and that was how I started. I started about 4 years ago, properly doing it. And it's just been amazing ever since. My parents they've been supportive, but obviously I've got my degree. They don't care. Like, as long as you've got that, you know, you're happy, you're enjoying what you do. Initially, they were just like, okay, you know, this is good. This is a nice hobby, you know, good. But now they've seen that, you know, she's actually quite serious in this. So they've just like, okay, we'll support you. And yeah, so family support.
But you know what, Uche, I think that they gave you a fantastic foundation in the ideology of study. Because you've now taken that concept, and even in the fashion, it's not a case of, oh, I've got the skill, or I can just diversify and do this. You've actually gone and learnt your trade. So now, you know, it's that mindset of excellence. It's that mindset of, okay, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to put excellence into, I'm going to be the best I can be. I'm going to run my race with excellence. And I think that would be something you could have taken from that sort of mindset of go and study something, you know?
Yeah. I think that definitely is, because I was like, if I'm going to do this, because I'm going to be speaking to people, I want to make sure that I am competent in what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm telling people the right thing. Because I'm like, I always ask myself, would you hire you? And that's how I do it. Like, would I hire myself? You know, so I wanted to make sure, okay, what tools, what skills do I need? So that was why I did it. So yeah, you are right. You definitely are right. That had an impact.
Yeah, because even when I spoke to you the other day, and even now, it's like, I'm like, this woman has got to style me. He's like, keep talking.
I should.
You know, you become.
I should.
And I really appreciate these conversations. because I'm learning so much. And
Oh, there's so much. There is so much to learn. There's so much.
Okay, so this is the other thing that I wanted to ask you. Now, women go through so many changes. We have children, our bodies change. So the hourglass figure that perhaps we may have had once, we lose that, or just different things like, you said you worked with or you had some association with the Metropolitan Police. Now, there are women in there who have to be very masculine in their day-to-day, and then they go home and maybe they're different personality again, needing to be more feminine or maternal. Now, what do you say for the women who, do you think that women need to keep changing their wardrobe at different times of their life, or once you're a certain kind of person, as in like style, your style never changes? Does your style change?
Style changes. Your style evolves. So as you go through life, how I was when I was a teenager, I would not be dressing, because I used to be a tomboy. And I tell people that all the time, and people just laugh. They don't believe it. And I always say a lot. I got my first pair of heels when I was 21. Literally, I was always in trainers and all of that. So your style changes, it evolves. When you become a mom as well, sometimes, you get some moms that are entrepreneurs and maybe they work at home. You're racing around with the kids. You want something that is comfortable, right?
Yeah.
If you've just given birth, you're not going to be wearing, corporate clothes and all of that, because you probably be on maternity leave and things, but you still want to look good. So you can still look good.
Yeah.
But you also want to be comfortable.
Uche, there's the issue of, as you said before, imposter syndrome, where how do you manage the difference? Because obviously you've got the mothers who may go to work and they're one character there, and then you're a different character at home, or somebody who now realizes that they've got to change with their changed lifestyle. But then how do you make that change when you're so, like, for instance, a prime example would be somebody who's been at home all throughout lockdown, not dressing much, not really wearing any makeup or doing anything, fancy at all. In fact, maybe even feeling guilty if they did. and then the doors are opened again. We're all back at work now. Now we've got to go back into this other mode. And then you've got the whole issue with imposter syndrome. How do we overcome that?
You need to start doing it now. So you need to start doing it now, because we've just gotten so used to just being at home. And the thing about imposter syndrome as well, you need to speak to yourself. And that's something I've had that in the past. And sometimes it still creeps in. Even when I was doing Women of Influence, the campaign, it will come up in my head, you can't do this. Like, how do you think you're going to talk to the Met Police and the Guildhall do you know how much the Guildhall costs for just a room? Who's going to give you that? So it's the same thing in our image, especially with everything that's going on around, looking at, in people, influencers, and just all the things that people see online. A lot of these things is artificial. People just, some of the things that you've put on, all the filters and things like that. You just have to make it up in your mind that, what, I'm good enough. God has made me wonderfully, beautifully made. I love this verse. I think it's Psalm 139, I think verse 13, and I love using it a lot, because it just talks about how unique we are and how God really just took his time to make us. No one is you, and I say that a lot, that no one is you, and that's your superpower. You just need to keep saying different affirmations, reading different, obviously God comes first when it comes to, with me, and that's really helped me. Even during COVID, I just had to remind myself, I'm like, what, I had imposter syndrome even recently. And I had to remind myself, I'm like, what, you're good enough. You can do this. You can get this job. You can get this contract. You just need to just believe it, because things will come up in your head. You would see things around you. People will annoy you. People will do things that will make you doubt yourself. People will say things that will make you doubt yourself. And you just need to constantly speak positive about yourself, because the moment you start speaking positive, it really manifests. People are so afraid, and then I'm just like, when you're afraid, that fear is such a bad thing, because it limits you. And we want to be limitless, right? We want to be limitless. So you need to just come up and be courageous. Even just say, I'm going to go for this Zoom call today. I'm going to wear a really nice blouse. and I'm going to wear some makeup, I'm going to put some lipstick on. That's a start. You know, it's a start. It's a gradual process. And surround yourself with cheerleaders. That's one thing I will always say. You need to surround yourself with people who inspire you, who empower you, you know, because when you hang around people that make you feel smaller than you are, it can affect you. So you have to have different boundaries. You need to start. And that's why when I say a lot that when it comes to style, it's not just about the tools that I give, knowing your body shape, knowing all of that. There are other things that you should know about, knowing who you are, and just be reminded that God has made you an amazing, unique person. If we're all the same, it would be so boring.
Yes, Uche, fantastic. I love it because, yeah, it's out of who you are, isn't it, that the style comes. So I'm assuming when the ladies come to you, you know, like let's say when I come over to you, you're going to look at my personality first, and then everything through that. Is it? It's going to be about.
Yeah, so usually, for example, if you were to come, Maria Bond came, I usually have like an application form. So it's a form, and it just get to know you a bit. We will have a consultation as well, so we can just chat a bit, know about what you like. In the form, it goes into a lot more details. You know, what do you like? You know, who inspires you? You know, what is there a role model that you just like their style? It doesn't mean you're going to copy them. It just means that you like, when you see them, you can see a little bit of, you know what, I actually like how she dresses. I like the way Michelle Obama dresses. You know, I just like that. So you can, and then even Pinterest, you know, if there's any like celebrities or anyone that you follow, even having a Pinterest account, you know, I would ask you that, do you have something like that? Because sometimes that also helps you identify your style, because you can start putting different ideas, you know, and through all of that information, I'm able to gather some things about you. You know, if you're a career woman, what do you do? What message do you want to send out to, you know, to your audience? You know, what message do you want them to see when they see you? Because people judge you within the first 7 seconds of meeting you. So it's unfair, but that's how it is. So those are all the things I would ask. And then I'm able to generalize some kind of summary on what the kind of things that you like. I will do a body shape analysis, so I'll be able to know what your body shape is. I usually identify with 5 body shapes. So there's the pear, for women anyway. There's the pear, there's the rectangle, there's the triangle, there's the inverted triangle, and there's the hourglass. I think I mentioned 5. So you would usually identify one of those. And then from there, depending on what you want to be styled for. So sometimes I have different services. So you might just want to be styled for maybe an event. And then we will just, from the body shape analysis, do a color analysis as well, know what your color palette is. And then I'll just go and do the search for you online, get a few ideas, do a mood board where I create the looks, send it to you. You usually would have like 3 different options, and you just pick out the one you want. So I've just used like a standard styling for an event. And that's how it is. And usually I have long-term clients that will just keep coming.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Can you tell our viewers how they can connect with you? And, you know, if there's somebody out there who wants to know a little bit more, how do they contact you?
Yeah, so you can contact me via, so my Instagram account is UO_styling, or via the website, you can contact me as well on uostyling.com.
Wonderful. And also, I'm going to mention 1 or 2 things that we talked about before, that LCBN will be sponsoring ladies out there who are interested in getting styled by Uche. I want you to send us a message. You can send one you can email us at info@limitlessmindset.co.uk, or you can email info@lcbntv.com, and just tell us why you think that you should be the one to win this wonderful prize.
Amazing prize.
It is. She gets styled by, she styles celebrities. So you really want to get this. So if you are interested, just write to info@lcbntv.com and tell us why you should earn that prize to be styled by Uche, the celebrity stylist. And LCBN TV will be sponsoring that.
That's amazing.
Thank you so very much for coming on the show. It is
Thank
amazing.
you, Maria.
And we look forward to you coming back on the show again soon.
I know, and I'm looking forward to that thing you said about the possible.
Yeah, when you star the lady that will win this prize, you can come back
be good.
with her and we can feature her on the show. That would be really good. Yeah, I think.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me, though. Thank you. I do really appreciate it. And you look fantastic. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show. See you soon. God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we have had a really good time and we've learned so much about styling, so much about styling. And you know what? I am so excited, extremely excited to see who will be that wonderful winner. So make sure that you write in to either info@limitlessmindset.co.uk or write to the station info@LCBN TV. Okay, so until next week, same time, same place. Goodbye and God bless.